Hey there, spookies. Yeah, everyone else is doing it, so why not do a Halloween special? And what better way than by appreciating a movie that is one giant love letter to the horror genre?
So you want to come over Monday night? I'm going to pick up some power drills, liberate my cabinets. Are you even listening to me?
This analysis contains spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, then turn this off and go trick-or-treat yourself. The Cabin in the Woods was written by Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard, with the latter making this his directorial debut. The name of this movie is befitting for all that it's attempting to achieve. It is unassuming and tells you nothing about the movie while simultaneously informing you that it's most likely a horror movie, and will probably contain many of the tropes and cliches that come with it. This continues through the opening credits. The imagery of human sacrifice shown in pools of blood sets the audience up for a twist that's hidden in plain sight. The film revels in its subversion of the horror tropes. After a cryptic scene of scientists in a lab, we are presented with our young heroes. Usually it's the pretty blonde doing the college professor, but in this case they flipped it. Enter everybody's favourite Hemsworth brother, playing the dumb jock, immediately subverted by showing that he has some book smarts.
Okay, seriously, Professor Bennett, it covers his whole book and his lectures. You should read this. Gorofsky. Now, this is way more interesting. Also, Bennett doesn't know it by heart, so he'll think you're insightful.
What's especially nice here is the dialogue between Kurt and Jules. You get a genuine feeling of connection between them that tells us as an audience that they've been together for a while and are comfortable with this level of banter.
I'm kind of seeing this girl, but you're way blonder than she is. But I was thinking, maybe... What is this? What are these? What are you doing with these?
Okay, I get it. I'll leave the
No.
books.
Who gave you these? Who taught you about these?
I learned it from you, okay? I learned it from watching you!
Marty, the artful stoner played by Fran Kranz, discusses the issue of modern technology and humanity's obsession with recording and cataloguing data.
This is the whole issue.
Is society crumbling, Marty?
No, society is binding, right? It's filling in the cracks with concrete. Everything's filed or recorded or blogged, right? Chips in our kids' heads so they won't get lost. Society needs to crumble. We're all just too chicken shit to let it.
This dialogue is excellent, not only for the irony that they are being watched or foreshadowing the film's conclusion, but once again in subverting a trope. Stoners are generally well known for getting high and talking a load of crap, but not for actively making the difference that they assert needs to happen. But like his friends, Marty isn't so one-dimensional. In order to placate the gods, the teens are offered up as sacrificial lambs, but it's established that it only works if they decide their own fate.
The system. They have to choose to ignore him, and they have to choose what happens in the cellar. Yeah, we rig the game as much as we need to, but in the end, they don't transgress.
They can't be punished.
However, the game is rigged, as for the world to continue spinning, they have to die.
But then it's fixed.
No.
How can you wager on this when you control the outcome?
No.
The theory of free will is then nicely tested in a game of Truth or Dare, where Kurt cuts Dana off to go straight to the truth, explaining the events that would have happened, leading to that choice being the ultimate outcome.
Now then. Dana.
Truth.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I'm just skipping ahead. But you're gonna say dare, she's gonna dare you to do something you don't like, and then you'll puss out and say that you wanted truth all along.
As the group enter the basement and look around, Marty implores them to go back upstairs, as each of them are choosing their fate.
It's beautiful.
Maybe we should go back upstairs. I dare you all to go upstairs.
Even in not wanting to hear the story, he, the fool, is acting in the group's best interest.
Pain will return. And then there's something in Latin.
Okay, I'm drawing a line in the fucking sand here. Do not read the Latin.
Read it.
As previously mentioned, the film is a wonderful homage to horror movies. Here, Marty is playing the part of Randy.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Scream just so happens to be Wes Craven's love letter to the slasher genre that he previously helped popularise. Our crew return to their previously scheduled programming, continuing to play out the horror movie cliches. This wonderfully ties into the movie's themes of being watched and controlled. For as much as the government facility are controlling the teens, so are they under the watchful eye of the Ancient Ones, controlling their actions. It's almost like the movie is making a comment on other far-reaching organisations that use fear of redemption as a method of control. When we think Marty is murdered at the halfway point and the government mark the fool as dead, there is a tremor from the Ancients. This is played off as excitement, but in truth probably anger, as we later find out that he's not dead. The job of Citizen and Hadley is not an easy one. They do what they must for the survival of humanity, and despite rigging the game, they still root for free will, for the human spirit, but mask it under duty and gallows humour.
It's so strange. I'm actually rooting for this girl. She's got so much heart. You think of all the pain and the... Tequila is my lady! My lady! Come on in, guys. Come on in, come on in.
The juxtaposition of the party with the horror of Dana being attacked on the screens creates a wonderful image of how society tends to ignore horror around us. The core plot of this movie in itself is a reference to the horror movie tropes of their young protagonists. It's like the Ancient Ones represent us as the viewer of the movie, and the cast of characters play their parts and are sacrificed to placate us, the movie-going public. The ultimate demise of humanity is the hubris of the government to control the teens as puppets, each representing a part to play for the Ancient Ones, but instead of finding true representations, they manufacture them casting against type. This is shown in each of the sacrifices. Kurt is designated the athlete, and despite being athletic, he is also a sociology major and proves to be smarter than the average jock.
We're gonna lock this place down.
He's right.
We'll go room by room, barricade every window and door. We gotta play it safe. No matter what happens, we have to stay together.
Jules is designated the whore, free-spirited and seductive. However, her nature is actually more nurturing, being a pre-med student, and she shows more of a paternal instinct to her friends.
And so will you, while we are burning this picture.
Oh, I'm not ready. Seriously.
Holden is designated as the scholar, and although he evidences intelligence, being a football star would probably fit him better being the athlete. Dana is designated the virgin. However, the movie has established this to be false in the opening scenes, and, in fact, she may align more with the whore, based on her affair with the professor, and that she is seen to be making out with Holden on the first day of meeting him. Marty is designated the fool, which at first glance rings true. However, as the movie goes on, we see that he's less pervious to subliminal messaging, and he's the one that works out what's really going on. In many ways, he better serves as the virgin considering the antics of the others, but I believe he's also capable of being the scholar. Dana and Marty are left with two decisions at the end of the movie. The first, while hunkered down from the onslaught of soldiers. At this point, the tables have turned, as they, in a way, have gone from being the watched to the watchers, knowing what's behind the elevator doors. Their decision is to wait for the inevitable or unleash hell on the attackers.
Oh, shit.
The second choice is for Marty to be, well, the martyr.
We're talking about the agonizing death of every human soul on the planet, including you. You can die with them, or you can die for them.
Gosh, they're both so enticing.
Or, as with his comments at the start of the film,
Society needs to crumble. We're all just too chicken shit to let it.
their first decision seems like the only logical choice. The film telling us that ultimately we have no free will. But the second choice indicates that maybe they do.
I'm sorry I let you get attacked by a werewolf and then enter the world.
You were right.
The Cabin in the Woods is a comedically witty horror movie that respectfully pokes fun at the genre. If you haven't already seen it, then I do implore you to do so. And if you haven't seen it in a long time, put it back on. It is Halloween. Well, thanks for watching. And as always, take it easy.